Picture yourself cruising down a wide American highway, the sun setting behind the Arizona mountains, the wind rushing past your helmet. In the rearview mirror, you catch sight of a motorcycle that looks familiar, but not quite. It's not an Africa Twin, it's not a Ténéré 700, and it's definitely not a Versys 650. It's something new, something that instantly sparks curiosity. And the question that starts to echo in every rider's mind is, did Honda finally build the perfect middleweight adventure bike for the US market? That's the promise behind the all-new NX500, a machine carrying Honda's legendary reliability, but daring enough to fill a gap that American riders have been asking about for years. Not too heavy to intimidate new riders, not too basic to discourage those who dream of long-distance travel. But is it really that bike? Or is it just a slightly refreshed CB500X with a new badge? The answer to that is something we'll uncover as we dig deeper. What matters right now is why the NX500's arrival in the US could be a game changer. The American motorcycle scene is shifting. The new generation of riders isn't chasing raw horsepower or shiny chrome anymore. What's in demand today is versatility machines that can handle the weekday commute and turn every weekend into an adventure. That's why bikes like Yamaha's Ténéré 700 have blown up in sales. They give riders the thrill of freedom without demanding rally-level skills to control them. But here's the catch. While the Ténéré 700 is beloved, it can be intimidating for beginners or for riders who don't want that much power or seat height. On the other side, Kawasaki's Versys 650 shines on asphalt, but loses points once the road gets rough. Suzuki's V-Strom 650 has earned its reputation as a reliable workhorse, but it's starting to feel outdated in a world where riders expect more tech and modern features. And that's exactly where the NX500 steps in. It's not here to be the most powerful or the most extreme. It's here to be the most balanced. A bike that understands the real-life needs of American riders, commuting to work in the city during the week, then escaping on Saturday down the Pacific Coast Highway, or exploring light trails in Colorado. And you can't help but notice the Africa Twin's DNA in its design. The aggressive dual headlights, the rugged fairings, the confident stance, it all screams adventure. Yet there's a friendliness about it too. The 32.6-inch seat height makes it accessible for average height riders. The wide handlebars and upright seating position promise hours of comfort. Whether you're filtering through New York traffic or cruising endless highways in Texas. Then there's the tech. A full-color TFT display with seamless smartphone connectivity through Honda RoadSync. Navigation, calls, music all at your fingertips. Integrated just the way American riders expect in 2025. Honda knows that a modern bike isn't just about the engine and wheels anymore. It's about convenience, connectivity, and character. But let's be real, looks and gadgets don't mean much if the engine can't deliver where it matters. And this is where the story of the NX500 gets even more interesting. Asterisk, because when you twist the throttle, the NX500 proves it isn't just about sharp looks or flashy tech, it's about delivering exactly what riders need. At its core beats a 471cc parallel twin engine, a setup Honda has perfected over the years. It's smooth, dependable, and approachable, making it one of the most rider-friendly power plants in the segment. On paper, you get around 47 horsepower and 31 pound-feet of torque. Now for some, those numbers might not sound earth-shattering, especially when you compare them to Yamaha's Ténéré 700 with its 72 horses. But here's the thing, the NX500 isn't trying to dominate spec sheets. Instead, it focuses on what really matters in day-to-day riding balance, efficiency, and confidence. On the highway, it cruises comfortably at 70 to 75 miles per hour, the sweet spot for American interstates. There's no sense of the engine straining, no constant need to downshift. It's smooth and composed, even when the ride stretches from one state line to another. And when the weekend comes, you'll find that same engine just as eager to handle. a twisty back road, or a gravel trail leading into the mountains. Fuel efficiency is another win. Averaging around 66 miles per gallon, the NX500 can stretch a 4.5-gallon tank to nearly 250 miles of range. For riders who love exploring vast American landscapes, from desert highways to backcountry trails, that kind of range is freedom. You're not constantly hunting for gas stations. You're just riding. Of course, a good engine needs the right frame and suspension to match. That's where Honda steps things up. Up front, you've got a 41mm Showa SFFBP inverted fork, the kind of setup you'd expect on higher-tier machines. In the back, a Pro-Link adjustable shock keeps the ride stable. Whether you're solo, carrying luggage, or riding 2-up dot, then there's a balance of weight and agility. At just about 430 pounds wet, the NX500 feels planted on highways, but still nimble enough to handle urban traffic or light off-road excursions. It's a rare sweet spot, not too heavy to wrestle with, not so light that it feels unstable at speed. Stopping power is handled by dual 296mm front discs with ABS paired with a single rear disc. It's the kind of setup that inspires confidence, especially for newer riders. Even in sudden stops, the NX500 feels predictable and forgiving. And then come the wheels 19 inches in the front and 17 in the rear, giving the NX500 the true adventure touring stance. It's built to handle everything from smooth asphalt to uneven gravel without skipping a beat. For most riders, that's exactly the versatility they're looking for. A bike that doesn't force you to choose between city, streets, and country roads. But to really understand what makes the NX500 stand out, you have to see it in the context of its competition. Because while it delivers a balanced package, the real question is, how does it measure up against bikes that have already earned legendary status in the US adventure market? Asterisk, when you line the NX500 up against its rivals, the picture becomes even clearer. Yamaha's Ténéré 700 has become the gold standard for hardcore adventure riders in the use, powerful, rugged, and built to tackle serious off-road challenges. But with that comes a steeper learning curve, a taller seat height, and a higher price tag. It's a dream for experienced riders who want to push their limits, but not always the best fit for someone just stepping into the adventure segment. Kawasaki's Versys 650, on the other hand, shines on the open road. It's comfortable, smooth, and efficient for long highway rides. But take it off the pavement, and it quickly shows its limitations. It's a sport touring machine in adventure clothing, not a true dual-purpose bike. Then there's Suzuki's V-Strom 650, the seasoned veteran. It's been around for years, earning respect for its reliability and versatility. But in 2025, it's starting to feel a little behind the curve, heavier than most of its competition, and lacking some of the modern tech that riders now expect. That's where the NX500 carves out its space. It doesn't try to overpower the Ténéré. It doesn't lean too heavily toward asphalt like the Versys. And it doesn't feel dated like the V-Strom. Instead, it aims straight for the middle, delivering a balance of everything: manageable power, modern design, strong fuel economy, updated tech, and a price tag that's expected to land around $7,500 to $8,000 in the US. That makes it one of the most accessible adventure bikes on the market without cutting corners on quality. So who is this bike really for? It's for the rider upgrading from a 300 or 400cc machine, ready for something bigger, but not looking to jump into the deep end with a 750 or 1000cc monster. It's for the commuter who wants one bike that handles city traffic Monday through Friday and turns into an adventure companion on the weekend. It's for couples dipping their toes into light touring, and for anyone who values Honda's legendary reputation for reliability, low maintenance costs, and strong resale value. Of course, no bike is perfect. The NX500 isn't going to satisfy riders chasing raw horsepower or extreme off-road performance. For that, the Ténéré 700 still reigns supreme. But not everyone needs or even wants that level of intensity. For many riders, the real adventure is in the balance, a bike that can do it all without ever feeling overwhelming. And that brings us back to the question we started with. Did Honda finally build the perfect middleweight adventure bike for American riders? The answer depends on what you're looking for. If you want extreme performance, maybe not. But if you're looking for a motorcycle that's affordable, approachable, and versatile enough to carry you from the weekday commute to the open road and beyond, then yes, the NX500 might just be the smartest adventure bike on sale today. Because at the end of the day, adventure isn't about the biggest engine or the highest horsepower. It's about freedom. It's about confidence. It's about having a machine that encourages you to ride more often, explore further, and enjoy the journey without limits. And in that sense, the Honda NX500 delivers exactly what American riders have been asking for. So the real question is, would you trade your Versys, your Ténéré, or even your V-Strom for Honda's newest contender? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want more motorcycle reviews and deep dives into the US market, make sure to hit subscribe, because this is just the beginning of a whole new adventure.